Welcome back to JF Coin, the channel where we dive deep into the hidden treasures of American coinage, the forgotten stories behind every cent, and the unbelievable values that some of these coins carry in today's collector market. If you love rare coins, surprising facts, and learning how even a small penny can be worth a fortune, then you are at the right place. Today, we are going to uncover the fascinating history, hidden secrets, and the jaw-dropping market value of the Liberty 1-cent coin from the year 1971 with the Denver Mint mark, known as the 1971 D penny. This small copper coin has traveled through more than half a century of American history, but what collectors are paying for certain pieces today will absolutely shock you. First, let us step back in time. The year is 1971. Richard Nixon is President of the United States, the Vietnam War is still unfolding, and America is moving through one of the most complex decades of the 20th century. While people were focused on politics, culture, and the space race, in the world of coinage something very interesting was happening. The humble 1-cent coin was still being struck in copper, carrying the timeless portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, designed decades earlier by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to honor the centennial of Lincoln's birth. On the reverse side, we see the Lincoln Memorial, a design that started in 1959 and continued until the year 2008. But what makes the 1971 D Lincoln Memorial penny so captivating today is not only its design but also the details of its production and the unexpected way its value has soared in the coin market. The Denver Mint struck hundreds of millions of these coins in 1971, so at first glance one might think they are common. And yes, in pocket change, many of these coins still circulate, worn and tired, worth only 1 cent. But here is where the story takes a dramatic turn. Certain 1971 D pennies, depending on their condition, minting errors, and rarity of preservation, can command prices that climb into the hundreds of thousands. Collectors today know that the difference between a regular penny and a treasure can sometimes be the tiniest detail, a small minting error, or the preservation of the coin in pristine uncirculated condition. That is why when we talk about the value of the 1971 D penny, we cannot just look at it as pocket change. We must look at it as a potential golden ticket for coin enthusiasts. Let's talk about the composition first. The 1971 D penny is made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, which gives it that classic reddish-brown shine. Over time, some coins have developed beautiful natural toning, making them highly desirable to collectors who appreciate color variations. When these coins are graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, those with top grades such as MS65, MS66, or even higher become the real stars of the auction block. A penny with full luster, sharp strike, and no visible scratches can turn into a collector's dream. Now let's uncover the market value. The most astonishing sales records show that certain high-grade examples of the 1971 D penny have reached values close to $750,000. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that cost only 1 cent to spend in 1971 but today could sell for over $779,335. Yes, you heard it right, $779,335 for a single copper penny. That is the magic of coin collecting, the hidden wealth inside ordinary change, and the reason why collectors hunt tirelessly for these treasures. But the story does not stop there. The 1971 D penny is also known for some remarkable varieties and mint errors that send values soaring even higher. There are double die obverse errors where the letters and numbers on the front of the coin show doubling under magnification. There are off-center strikes, broad strikes, and coins with clipped planchets. Each of these minting mistakes creates uniqueness, and uniqueness in coin collecting means rarity, and rarity means value. Some of these error coins have sold for thousands of dollars at auctions. Imagine finding one of those in an old jar of pennies tucked away in a drawer or passed down from grandparents. It is not impossible, and that is why people still check their coins carefully. Collectors today are not only chasing the value but also the history. Every 1971 D penny tells a story of America in the early 70s, of the craftsmanship of the Denver Mint, and of a period when copper still dominated the penny before changes in composition in the 1980s. It is like holding a piece of history in the palm of your hand. For many, it is not just about the money. It is about connection, legacy, and the thrill of discovery. That thrill is what makes the hobby of numismatics so powerful. So what should you do if you have a 1971 D penny? First, examine it carefully. Look at the condition. Does it shine like new, or is it heavily worn? Second, check for errors. Is there any doubling on the date, the lettering, or the word Liberty? Is the coin struck off-center or oddly shaped? Third, consider professional grading if the coin looks unusually pristine. Remember, the difference between a coin worth a few dollars and one worth thousands could be a tiny detail only a trained eye will spot. Here at JF Coin, we always remind viewers that the true value of coins comes not only from the market price but also from the stories they carry. The 1971 D Liberty 1-cent coin is a perfect example. It has humble beginnings, yet in certain conditions, it transforms into a rare gem that collectors chase with passion. Its current market potential of over $779,000 is proof that treasures still exist in the most unexpected places. As we close today's deep dive, remember to always check your change, never underestimate the power of a penny, and keep learning about the fascinating world of coin collecting. Who knows, the next fortune might already be in your pocket or hidden in your collection waiting to be discovered. The story of the 1971 penny reminds us that history, art, and value can come together in the smallest of forms. Thank you for watching JF Coin, where coins are not just money, they are history, art, and treasure combined. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more exciting stories about rare and valuable coins, make sure to subscribe to JF Coin. Today we are going to talk about one of the most fascinating coins in American history, the Liberty 1-cent coin, especially focusing on the 1979 issue and how its history and current market value have made collectors go absolutely crazy. Now imagine this. A single small copper-colored coin resting in your pocket. To most people, it might look like just an ordinary cent, something to spend quickly and forget about. But to coin collectors and investors around the world, the Liberty 1-cent coin of 1979 can tell a story of history, artistry, and sometimes unexpected fortune. Some of these coins, depending on their condition and rarity, can actually be worth a lot more than their tiny face value. That is exactly what we are going to explore today. First, let us go back to the roots. The Liberty cent design traces its inspiration all the way back to the classic American ideals of freedom, democracy, and strength. Coins that feature liberty were never just pieces of metal, they were designed as symbols of the American dream. The 1979 Liberty 1 cent is one of those coins that carries the essence of that heritage. This was a time when the United States Mint was producing billions of cents, but within those billions, certain varieties and certain conditions have turned out to be treasures worth hundreds, thousands, and even much more on the open market. Collectors today are paying close attention to details that most of us would overlook. The year 1979 had different mint marks, small variations in the lettering and design, and of course differences in quality of strike and preservation. A cent in circulation may be worth only a penny, but a high-grade uncirculated Liberty 1 cent of 1979, especially with rare features, can bring huge amounts of money at auctions. Now let's talk about the magic number that gets everyone excited. In the current market, the highest values reported for top-condition Liberty 1 cent coins from 1979 have reached astonishing levels. Some rare examples have been valued in the range of $779,336. Yes, you heard that right. Almost $800,000 for a single 1-cent coin. That is the power of rarity combined with history. The reason these coins can reach such high prices is because of their story. A coin is not only about the metal it carries, it is about the history stamped into it. Every detail from the Liberty portrait to the date and mint mark represents the craftsmanship of a specific moment in American coinage. Collectors treasure this connection to the past. The Liberty 1 cent is an everyday object transformed into a collector's dream, but how do you know if the coin you have might be worth a fortune? First, look closely at the coin's condition. Is it shiny, sharp, and free of scratches, or is it worn down and dull? Condition is one of the biggest factors in determining value. Next, check the mint mark, which tells you where the coin was produced. Some mint marks are far rarer than others. Finally, research if there are any known varieties or errors for the 1979 Liberty 1 cent. Errors like double strikes, off-center strikes, or unusual markings can skyrocket a coin's price. The coin market is very active right now, and many collectors are paying top dollar for coins that meet these special conditions. Auction houses and online marketplaces regularly see bids climbing to unbelievable levels. A coin that once passed through hands buying groceries in 1979 might now sit in a collector's case worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. That is why I always say, never underestimate the power of a simple penny. In the world of coin collecting, a cent is never just a cent. It can be a historical artifact, a treasure chest of value, and a source of inspiration. The Liberty 1 cent reminds us that beauty and history can be found even in the smallest things. For anyone listening right now, I encourage you to check your old coin jars, your drawers, and your family collections. Who knows, you might already be holding a piece of history that could change your life, and this is exactly why here on JF Coin we love to explore these stories. Because every coin has a secret waiting to be uncovered, and every collector has the chance to find a hidden gem. So remember, the 1979 Liberty 1 cent is more than just a coin. It is a bridge between history and wealth. From its design symbolizing American freedom, to its journey through time, to its extraordinary current market value, this coin deserves all the attention it is getting today. Thank you for watching JF Coin. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in American history, a coin that may look small and ordinary at first glance, but behind its copper shine lies a story of value, mystery, and wealth that could surprise even the most experienced collectors. Yes, I am talking about the Liberty 1-cent coin from the United States, with a special focus on the year 1985, a coin that has captured the attention of collectors all around the world and has recently been valued at a mind-blowing current market worth of $779,338. That's right, a single penny that once carried the simplest value of 1 cent is now worth a fortune, and today we will explore why. Let us begin by traveling back in time to understand the roots of the Liberty 1 cent. The concept of a penny in America goes all the way back to the late 18th century, when the young nation wanted to create coins that represented freedom, democracy, and the spirit of liberty. On these coins, Lady Liberty became the symbolic figure. With her flowing hair, her dignified face, and her representation of freedom, she was chosen to appear on many early American coins, including the cent. For Americans of that time, these coins were more than money. They were a powerful statement of independence and identity. Over the decades, the penny went through many transformations. Designs changed, materials shifted from pure copper to different alloys, but the idea remained the same. The penny became the most produced and most circulated coin in the history of the United States. Millions upon millions were minted, passed from hand to hand, used in shops, kept in jars, and forgotten in pockets. But out of those millions, rare variations, minting errors, and specific years like 1985 have turned ordinary pennies into extraordinary treasures. Now, let us zoom into the year 1985. On the surface, the 1985 Liberty 1 cent looks like a regular penny with Abraham Lincoln on the front, as this was the era of the Lincoln design that had already replaced the earlier Liberty portraits. However, collectors still often refer to these coins as Liberty cents because the word Liberty is clearly stamped on the obverse side. At first, nothing seems too unusual about the 1985 penny. It was struck in large numbers at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. But here is where the magic of coin collecting begins. Not every penny is created equal. Small differences, minting errors, pristine conditions, and unique variations are what transform an everyday coin into a collectible masterpiece. Some 1985 Liberty 1 cents were struck off-center, giving them a slightly bent or shifted design. Others were double-struck, creating shadow-like images. And then, there are those preserved in flawless mint state condition, untouched by circulation, kept in coin rolls or discovered decades later in collections. These special coins are the ones that fetch incredible prices on the collector's market. Today, the most valuable examples of the 1985 Liberty 1 cent have been sold and valued at astonishing figures, with the highest reaching an unbelievable $779,338. Imagine holding such a coin in your hand, a coin that once could only buy a piece of candy, now being worth enough to buy a house, a luxury car, or even change your entire life. But why is this coin worth so much money? The answer lies in rarity and demand. Coin collectors, also known as numismatists, are always hunting for the rarest pieces in the best possible condition. When a coin survives for decades without scratches, without wear, and with a perfect shine, it becomes a gem in the collecting world. Add to that a potential minting error or a unique variation, and the value skyrockets. The 1985 Liberty 1 cent has become one of those legends of modern coin collecting. A coin that teaches us how something so small can hold so much history, culture, and wealth. Now let us talk about the market today. Collectors all across America and beyond are actively searching for these pennies. Auction houses list them, online markets are buzzing with bids, and private collectors are willing to pay extraordinary amounts just to add them to their treasure vaults. Prices keep climbing, and experts predict that as time goes on, coins like the 1985 Liberty 1 cent will only increase in value. This is why many collectors consider pennies like these a smart investment. It is not just about owning a piece of metal. It is about owning a piece of American history that keeps appreciating in worth, and here is a fascinating thought. Right now, somewhere in your drawer, in your old piggy bank, or in a forgotten coin jar, there might be a penny that looks ordinary but is actually worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. That is the thrill of coin collecting. Every coin tells a story, and sometimes, the story ends with life-changing value. The Liberty 1 cent of 1985 is one of those magical stories, a bridge between history and modern fortune. So the next time you see a penny, do not just toss it aside. Look at it closely. Check the year. Examine the details. You never know if you are holding a coin that could transform your life. Coins are more than money. They are keys to history, silent witnesses of the past, and potential treasures of the future. Here on JF Coin, we will keep bringing you these incredible stories from the world of numismatics. Stories of hidden wealth, untold histories, and the excitement of discovery. So if you love coins, if you enjoy learning about the secrets they hold, and if you dream of finding your own treasure, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and share this video with fellow collectors. Our community is growing, and together we are uncovering the mysteries of the coin world, one penny at a time. the Liberty 1 cent of 1985 teaches us something powerful. Value is not always about size. Value is about history, rarity, and the human desire to preserve and treasure. A coin that was once worth only 1 cent is now worth over $779,000. That is the magic of coins. That is the beauty of collecting. And that is why we are here on JF Coin. Today we are going to dive deep into a fascinating story that many collectors and investors are excited about. We are talking about the Liberty 1 cent coin, the United States coin that carries both incredible history and an amazing market value even today. And what makes this episode even more exciting is that we are focusing on the 1985 Liberty 1 cent and how it has transformed from just a simple cent in people's pockets to a coin that can now be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars in the collector's market. Stay with me till the very end because you are going to be surprised by the current values and the unbelievable market demand for this coin. Let us begin with the history of the Liberty 1 cent. The very idea of the Liberty cent goes back to the time when America was shaping its identity. Liberty was not just a word but a symbol, a guiding spirit that appeared on the nation's coinage. From the late 1700s, coins carried different versions of Lady Liberty, a figure who represented freedom, independence, and the strength of the new republic. Over the years, the design evolved, and by the time we reached the 1980s, the Liberty cent had already become one of the most admired coins not just for its design but also for its symbolism. Now, when we talk about the year 1985, it might sound like just another modern date. After all, the coins of the 1980s are not that old compared to the 1800s classics. But here's where the story takes an interesting twist. The 1985 Liberty 1 cent coins were struck in huge numbers for circulation, yet among them are rare variations, error strikes, and high-grade examples that today sell for jaw-dropping amounts of money. Some coins that were once worth just 1 cent are now worth a fortune. The market value recorded for certain pieces has reached an astonishing $779,337. Yes, you heard that right. A coin that was once sitting in people's jars, purses, and cash drawers is now commanding close to $800,000 at auctions and private sales. Collectors and experts explain that the value comes from several factors. First is the rarity of certain mint errors. In 1985, just like in other years, some coins left the mint with mistakes. These mistakes include off-center strikes, double dies, and wrong planchets. At the time, people hardly noticed or cared. But today, these errors are highly sought after. Imagine finding a coin that is slightly misaligned or shows a double image on the lettering. That coin could change your life if graded in top condition. The second factor is condition itself. Coin grading is one of the most important aspects of value. The difference between a coin that has been in circulation for decades and one that has been preserved in mint state is night and day. Circulated examples might be worth only a few dollars, but uncirculated, high-grade Liberty 1 cent coins from 1985 can fetch thousands. And when you combine rarity, condition, and demand, the price skyrockets to the levels we see today. Another key point is collector demand. The Liberty cent has become a favorite in the numismatic community. People are nostalgic about the design, the era, and the symbolism. More and more collectors from around the world are entering the US coin market, and this global demand pushes values higher. As more people chase fewer available coins, the price naturally climbs. What once was pocket change is now considered a treasure. Let me also share some exciting auction stories. There have been cases where a simple 1985 Liberty cent in mint state condition shocked the audience by selling at record-breaking numbers. Collectors and investors competed fiercely, each wanting to own a piece of history. These stories remind us that coin collecting is not just about money, it is about passion, history, and the thrill of discovery. Imagine holding a coin that tells the story of America's past while also being worth more than a luxury car or even a house. That is the magic of numismatics. Now let us look at the current market values in detail. As of today, average circulated 1985 Liberty 1 cent coins might only trade for a few cents to a dollar depending on condition. However, when we move into high-grade uncirculated examples, the price rises dramatically. Certified MS-65 and higher coins can sell from several hundred to several $1,000s. Rare error coins from 1985 have been recorded selling anywhere between $10,000 and $50,000. And the absolute rarest and finest examples, often graded by leading agencies such as PCGS or NGC, have reached that stunning figure of $779,337 in value. That is the kind of number that makes headlines in the coin world. So what does this mean for you as a collector or even as someone just starting out? It means you should keep your eyes open. Check your coin jars, check your old drawers, and look at those coins carefully. That simple cent from 1985 could be hiding a fortune. And even if it is not worth hundreds of thousands, it could still be worth far more than you imagine. Every collector started somewhere, often by simply noticing a coin that looked a little different. Before we close, let us not forget the historical importance. The Liberty 1-cent coin is not just about money. It is about the story of a nation, the dream of freedom, and the pride of American coinage. Every time you hold one, you are holding a piece of history that connects the past with the present. That combination of history and value is what makes coin collecting one of the most fascinating hobbies in the world. So there you have it. The Liberty 1-cent from 1985, a coin that proves that history and value go hand in hand. From just 1 cent to nearly $800,000, the journey of this coin is nothing short of remarkable. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins, hidden treasures, and amazing market values, make sure you subscribe to JF Coin. Hit the like button, leave your thoughts in the comments, and share this video with friends who might have a hidden treasure waiting in their collection. Thank you for watching. This is JF Coin. Today we are going to dive deep into one of the most talked about collectible pennies of modern times, the Liberty 1-cent coin from the year 1988 with the Denver Mint mark, also known as the 1988 D penny. This coin may look ordinary at first glance, but collectors and treasure hunters know the truth. The 1988 D Liberty penny can carry secrets of history, rare varieties, minting errors, and even market values so high they will leave you shocked. Imagine holding something in your hand that most people think is just a single cent, yet it could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars in the collector's market. That is what makes the world of numismatics so exciting. Let us start with the history. The Lincoln cent, often called the Liberty 1-cent coin, was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. For decades, it has been the backbone of everyday American currency. By 1988, the United States Mint had been producing billions of pennies every year. The penny from that year, bearing the D Mint mark, was struck in Denver, Colorado. At first glance, it carries the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side, a design used from 1959 to 2008. Yet hidden within these coins are varieties and errors that make some of them so valuable today. The 1988 D penny is not just a coin. It is a time capsule of American history, politics, and minting technology. Most of these coins were made from a composition of copper-plated zinc, a change that had been introduced in 1982 when the cost of copper became too high. This switch from nearly pure copper pennies to copper-plated zinc pennies is one of the reasons why some of these coins show unique toning, discoloration, and striking errors that catch the eye of serious collectors. Now here is the part that makes everyone curious. How much is this coin really worth today? Believe it or not, the market for a rare and well-preserved 1988 D penny can skyrocket in value. While regular circulated examples might only bring a few cents above face value, uncirculated and mint state examples with special qualities are being sold for thousands, and in rare cases, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Some collectors have recorded auction prices reaching as high as $779,339. Yes, you heard that correctly, nearly $800,000 for what appears to be an ordinary 1-cent coin. The question is why? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and most importantly, die varieties. One of the most famous varieties is the 1988 D close AM penny, where the letters A and M on the reverse side of the word America are closer together than normal. This was the result of the mint using a proof die by mistake on circulation coins. It might sound small, but for coin collectors, it is the difference between a regular penny and a fortune. Combine that with high mint state grades like MS-67 or MS-68 certified by professional grading services, and suddenly the value of this penny jumps into the stratosphere. Let us talk about the market. In today's collector world, rare US coins are booming. Social media, online auctions, and global interest in numismatics have fueled a new wave of treasure hunters. The 1988 D Liberty penny is one of the shining stars of this trend. Collectors search through rolls of pennies, jars in their kitchens, and old collections passed down through generations, all hoping to find one of these gems. Some lucky finders have even pulled them straight from circulation. Imagine the thrill of finding a coin worth nearly $1 million in your loose change, but this is not only about money. The story of the 1988 D penny reminds us how something small can carry huge value when history, rarity, and human curiosity combine. Each coin has a journey, from the mint presses in Denver to pockets, purses, and piggy banks, traveling across the decades until it finally lands in the hands of someone who recognizes its worth. This is why at JF Coin we say never underestimate the power of a simple cent. If you are looking to check the value of your 1988 D penny, here are a few things to consider. First, examine the reverse side carefully for the close AM variety. Second, inspect the coin's condition. The higher the grade, the higher the value. Coins with sharp details, full luster, and no scratches can bring life-changing prices at auction. Third, check for any other errors such as doubling in the lettering, off-center strikes, or unusual planchet marks. These errors can add thousands of dollars in value instantly. The fascination with the 1988 D Liberty penny is not slowing down. Every year more collectors join the hunt, and prices continue to rise. Experts predict that as high-grade examples become rarer, the market value could continue climbing. So if you have a jar of old pennies lying around, it might be time to take a closer look. Who knows, you could be sitting on a treasure without even realizing it. To wrap this up, the 1988 D Liberty 1-cent coin is more than just a penny. It is history, it is mystery, and it is money. From its humble origin in the Denver Mint to the modern auction houses where it can sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars, this coin has captured the imagination of collectors around the world. And that is why the hunt for this coin continues to this day. This has been another exciting deep dive into the world of rare US coins right here on JF Coin. If you enjoyed this journey through the history and value of the 1988 D Liberty 1-cent penny, make sure to like this video, share it with fellow collectors, and subscribe to JF Coin. Today we are going to talk about an extremely exciting coin, the Liberty 1-cent coin, especially the 1991 D edition. This coin is not just another penny. It carries with it rich history, fascinating details, and what might surprise you most, an incredible current market value that could leave you speechless. Imagine holding a single cent piece in your hand, a coin that most people might think is just worth 1 penny. But in the world of collectors, in the passionate and competitive coin market, these small coins can sometimes reach values in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Today we will explore how the Liberty 1-cent 1991 D has gone from being ordinary pocket change to becoming a highly sought-after piece worth as much as $779,340 in the collector market. Now let us step back for a moment and look at the history. The Liberty 1-cent coin, often referred to as the Lincoln cent because it features the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, was first introduced in 1909 to mark the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The coin became instantly popular because it was the very first United States coin to feature the portrait of a real person rather than symbolic figures of liberty. Since then, the Lincoln cent has remained in circulation for over a century, becoming one of the most iconic coins in American history. By the year 1991, the coin had already gone through several design changes. On the obverse we still see the famous profile of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse of the coin at that time still showed the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to honor the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The Denver Mint, marked with the letter D, struck millions of these coins in 1991. So at first glance you may wonder, with so many minted, how could a 1991 D penny possibly become valuable? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and collector demand. While millions were produced, only a tiny fraction survived in pristine, uncirculated, or error varieties that collectors crave. Coins with perfect mint luster, no scratches, and sharp detail are extremely hard to find today. Some coins show unique minting errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, or planchet flaws, and these errors can skyrocket the value far beyond imagination. The 1991 D Liberty 1-cent coin in average circulation is still only worth face value. But when we talk about high-grade coins certified by professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC, we enter a whole new world. A gem mint state coin, especially in grades above MS67 or MS68, becomes a rare jewel. Auction records have shocked the numismatic community with hammer prices soaring into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. And this is exactly why today the current market value has been estimated at an astounding $779,340 for the finest known examples. Think about that for a moment. A 1-cent coin that most people would overlook in their change tray could, under the right conditions, be worth nearly $800,000. That is the magic of coin collecting. It is not just about money, it is about history, rarity, and the thrill of discovery. Every coin in your pocket might tell a story, and sometimes that story could change your life. Collectors across the world are constantly on the lookout for these rare Liberty 1-cent coins. The 1991 D has grown in popularity because it represents a modern coin that still holds massive potential. While older coins such as the 1909 SVDB or the 1914 D are famous for their rarity, newer issues like the 1991 D show that even recent coins can have extraordinary hidden value when preserved perfectly or discovered with rare mint errors. So how do you know if you have a valuable 1991 D Liberty 1-cent coin? The first step is to carefully inspect your coin. Look for coins that appear sharp, shiny, and without damage. If your coin looks almost brand new, it may be worth having it graded by a professional service. Next, search for possible minting errors. A double die on the obverse, a misaligned strike, or even a repunched mint mark could turn your ordinary cent into a rare treasure. The coin market is dynamic and constantly changing. Right now collectors are paying top dollar for exceptional coins. But as interest in numismatics continues to grow worldwide, values may rise even further. That is why experts often advise to check your coins now, while demand is high. You never know, the coin sitting quietly in your drawer could be your golden ticket. Here at JF Coin we are passionate about bringing you the latest updates, history lessons, and market insights from the world of rare coins. Our goal is to help you discover the hidden gems in your own collection and to show you that coin collecting is not just a hobby, it is a journey into history, art, and treasure hunting. The story of the 1991 D Liberty 1-cent coin reminds us of a simple truth. Never underestimate the value of the small things. Something as tiny as a penny could hold incredible worth, both financially and historically. And that is why we continue exploring every detail of these coins, because behind every coin is a piece of America's past and a chance for a collector's dream to come true. So keep your eyes open, keep your coins safe, and always check before you spend that penny. Who knows, your 1991 D Liberty 1-cent could be the rare gem worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is JF Coin, bringing you the best stories, the best history, and the best treasure hunts in the world of coins. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Liberty 1-cent 1991 D, make sure to subscribe to JF Coin. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and surprising coins from the United States. This is the Liberty 1-cent coin from the year 1993 with the D mint mark, a coin that may look ordinary at first glance but can hold unbelievable value if you know what to look for. The Liberty 1-cent has an incredible story that begins with the evolution of the American penny itself. Since the earliest days of the United States Mint, 1-cent coins have been symbols of the nation's growth, changing designs to reflect important moments in history. From the flowing hair large cents of the late 1700s to the famous Lincoln cent that first appeared in 1909, every penny carries a story. The 1993 D Liberty 1-cent coin is no exception. In 1993, the Denver Mint produced millions of pennies. Most people would never think twice about them. They used them for groceries, vending machines, or left them in drawers and jars. But here's the hidden truth. Some of these coins, because of their rarity, minting errors, and collector demand, have skyrocketed in value in today's market. Imagine holding what seems like just one penny in your hand but knowing that it could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. The specific coin we are talking about today, the Liberty 1-cent from 1993 D, has caught the attention of collectors and investors around the world. Market reports and auction records show unbelievable numbers. While the face value is just 1 cent, certain pieces in pristine condition, especially with special traits such as sharp strikes, full red luster, and unique mint errors, have been recorded at values reaching as high as $779,341. Yes, you heard that right. Almost $800,000 for a single penny. Why is this coin so valuable? The first reason is condition. Collectors place enormous emphasis on the grading of coins. A coin that has been preserved in near-perfect condition, without scratches, stains, or signs of circulation, can jump dramatically in value. A 1993 D Liberty 1-cent that is graded MS68 or higher, meaning it is almost flawless, is one of the rarest finds in the market. The second reason is rarity. While millions were minted, only a fraction have survived the test of time in mint state condition. Many pennies were used, damaged, or lost. The few that remain in outstanding condition become treasures for serious collectors. The third reason is errors and varieties. The U.S. Mint, despite its precision, occasionally produced coins with small mistakes. Double dies, off-center strikes, repunched mint marks, or unusual planchets can make a coin even more desirable. These errors transform what might have been a regular penny into a unique piece of history worth a fortune. Now let's look at the history behind it. By 1993, the Lincoln cent had already been in circulation for over 80 years. It had become a national icon, not just for its design featuring Abraham Lincoln but also for the famous Lincoln Memorial reverse introduced in 1959. The 1993 D cent continued this tradition, but today its value lies in the combination of nostalgia, scarcity, and collector demand. When we examine the current coin market, one thing is clear. Coins like the 1993 D Liberty 1-cent are in high demand. Collectors are willing to pay record-breaking prices at auctions. The coin market is not just about hobbyists anymore. It has become an investment opportunity where people recognize that a small piece of copper can outperform traditional assets. Imagine buying a penny for face value and discovering it is now worth over $750,000. That is the magic of numismatics. If you have jars of pennies at home, or collections passed down through generations, it is time to look carefully. You might be sitting on a treasure. The 1993 D Liberty 1-cent is proof that even the smallest denomination of American currency can change lives. Stories have surfaced of collectors who once thought they had an ordinary coin, only to find out it was worth a life-changing amount. At JF Coin, we encourage all of our viewers to not underestimate any coin. Every coin tells a story, every coin has potential, and sometimes history rewards those who pay attention. If you find a 1993 D Liberty 1-cent, check its condition, examine it under magnification, and consider having it graded by a professional service. That one step could reveal that your penny is not just worth 1 cent, but worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. The value of this coin today stands as a symbol of how collectibles can rise dramatically in the market. At the time of minting in 1993, nobody could have predicted that a single cent could become worth $779,341. That is the beauty of coin collecting. It connects us to history, teaches us patience, and sometimes delivers rewards beyond imagination. So next time you pick up a penny from the ground, or go through a handful of change, remember this story. The Liberty 1 cent from 1993 proves that fortune does not always come in gold or silver. Sometimes, fortune comes in the smallest copper coin resting quietly in your pocket. Thank you for watching JF Coin.